mortgages and stuff
Trying.
like that?
Yeah, trying. Absolutely. So I watch it and I get notifications if I can't like watch really what's going on, what news is out right now. But yeah, sometimes I don't like the notifications, especially if it says that rates are going up. Stop! I don't want to know anymore. Right?
You know what's interesting is I was talking to Mary Langer. You know Mary?
No.
From Active Signs, and she's part of Prairie Lakes. She's part of that management team that's over there. She was at the chamber meeting yesterday morning, and she was talking about the high interest rates. I'm like, Mary, oh come on, these are not high interest rates.
Well, it's all relative.
But then what happened was I watched her back down, and she goes, oh, you know, you're right. I had a mortgage at 14%, and so did I. I mean,
see the mindset though, and like when one person starts talking about it, people are just kind of like they follow along and draw in and go, yeah, rates are really high. Well, historically speaking, no, they're not. But if we're comparing it to 2020, yeah, they are high. They're triple in some cases.
Yeah, they are high. So I mean, but I understand it. I get what's going on out there. I get that. People they're hoarding their 2.5% or 2.8, 2.9. Wow. They're hoarding it like it's mine. You can't have it.
I think I recall a time being at 18%.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely was. That's when my mother started selling real estate
well,
in the late 70s.
When they moved to Pennsylvania, their mortgage was 18%.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. On a Levitt
but the cost of their house is probably $100,000.
Less, probably less. Yeah, so big difference when we're talking about average price in the 400 range, let's say, and then it's like 7%, you know, versus 60,000 and it's 18%. Difference, a little bit of a difference in there.
A little bit of a difference. I don't know. You know, could be. Well, we know right now the market is trending down. Listings are trending down 43%. Sales are trending down 41%, and pricing is trending up 12% compared to last month, July 2022. But what blew me away is pricing is trending up 12%. OMG. I just don't get that. But we'll talk about that. I want to get into
houses are sitting a little bit longer, don't you think?
Just a touch.
Actually,
maybe
new
another
construction seems to be sitting a long time.
New construction?
Yeah, we're going to talk
really?
about that.
Okay.
We're going to chat with you about that because actually they're up just a little bit. If you look, days on market, by the way, dropped one day. No, I'm right. I'm lying to you. I like to lie to you. It's up 3 days.
Yeah.
Days on market, 3 days.
I feel like it's about a week. Yeah. But it depends.
That's true. Yeah. So let me tell you about this lady over here. The owner of the Perfect Place Real Estate. Perfect Place Real Estate?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. She's also part of Realty Executives and wonderful organization, some great people over there.
Yep.
And really enjoy those folks. I like this from your website, and this is fun. I love working with sellers to prepare their home for sale. It seems to be where my talents are utilized best. With my attention to detail and interior design background, coupled with professional photos and a great marketing on all platforms, the properties are presented extremely well. Nicely done.
It's all about the presentation.
It is. You got to talk into your microphone.
It's all about the presentation.
It is. Now, can you hear yourself in your ears when you talk?
No.
You can't?
No.
Turn the volume up a little bit.
You mean like that? Yep, now I can hear.
Now you can hear?
Yeah, now I can hear you too.
Oh, there you go. Hey, I have to tell you, the thing I know about Kim, we do work out together on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She infiltrated our men's prime group.
Infiltrated.
Her and Jennifer Lee, Miss Faded Roots herself.
Yeah.
And like I said, of any of the two ladies that I know, they're perfect because I'm one of the little guys. And we've got two guys in there. One's about 350, and the other one's like 330, something like that. And then there's John. He and John and I are about the same size, but we throw some serious weight around. And Kim and Jen, they keep up with us, I tell you. They're not intimidated at all.
There are no slouches, huh?
No.
There you go. I love it.
We try.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here. Finally.
Hey, sorry, exactly. I know. I've been trying to get you on here. Hey, so your husband considers you a true Wisconsin girl. What is that all about? I mean, I know you were in Florida. You lived there and you moved back to Wisconsin.
Yeah, he always had this funny saying, you can take the girl out of Wisconsin, but you can't take the Wisconsin out of the girl. Especially when I would do something kind of dumb.
Uh-oh.
Like get run over by a hay wagon on Halloween or...
What?
What?
You got run over by a hay
This is
wagon?
a story.
Sorta.
How'd that happen?
It's called A Little Too Much to Drink, running next to the hay wagon with all the kids on it, and
Oh, goodness.
the wheels stick out a little bit farther than the trailer, and Kim's inside the wheel location, and the guy driving the tractor drives right over my foot.
Oh my gosh, did it hurt?
Did it break? Break bones?
I think I had just a hairline fracture in my...
That's not
That's
bad.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it could
it was
have been
really
worse.
funny. The guy's like, did I just run over something?
Boom, boom.
Nope, I'm good. As I'm rolling across the pavement, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And my husband's like, really?
So you left Florida though.
Yeah.
Where were you in Florida?
We were in Fort Lauderdale area, just north of Fort Lauderdale, Deerfield Beach is
Okay.
where my husband is, was a firefighter.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then we moved up north to Palm Beach Gardens area, and then into Tequesta. So that whole coast actually, but he still commuted for fire rescue, and I worked. Actually, I had a real estate license here, but I just did referrals, and then I worked in the medical field for 20 years.
What do you mean in medical field? What'd you do?
I was an MRI technologist.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
Why can't we get those results like right away? We go in and do an MRI. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to wait a week.
They usually read them in a day.
You think?
They just hold them back, I guess. I don't know, I stopped that job a few years back.
Oh yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I love how Dean Care and SSM called me, my doctor. We'd like you to come. You haven't had a wellness update for a while. I'm thinking, well, I feel well. That's a pretty good
There's the update.
She goes, no, you haven't had a physical in over a year, so we'd like to get you in. I said, great, I'm available on Friday. And I heard this little chuckle. She goes, how about the end of September? I'm like, I thought you said a wellness checkup. I may not be well by then. Oh my goodness.
You're having fun, aren't you?
Oh, well, you know me. I gotta have fun with people like that. It's like, don't mess with me. Get me in there. If you want it, it's so important. Get me in there. I don't know why everybody is. Facebook is all messed up today.
Why?
It's just not. I got a different screen, and I'm not used to it. That's all.
Hmm.
But so you were down there, and you came back up here. You had your real estate license since '93.
94, I started, I was working full-time at University Hospital and working part-time with Stark.
Okay.
Helen Vickerman from Sun Prairie here was my mentor.
I
She was
don't
with
know.
Stark.
Before my time.
Yeah, actually I've been meaning to reach out to her. I'm not sure like where she is these days.
Oh my goodness.
But she was the best mentor. She taught me real estate, and I
Yeah.
worked with Gail Mackey.
Oh yeah.
He's no longer here, but his son Rick, and I knew Rick's wife for quite a while too. But
Sure.
anyway, Rick still works for Stark, I believe. But that was my first real estate job, and I just dabbled in it because I was young and I wanted to buy a condominium or a house, and I wanted to know and understand how the market worked and how lenders worked. My biggest thing was like, how can a lender do this, and how can they not do this, and how I need to understand
Yeah.
how lenders work with real estate, and I wanted education, so I took the real estate course, and then I got my license right away and
That's so interesting.
started doing it, and then I moved to Florida, and actually that must have been before 94, because must have been 93, because then I moved to Florida in 1994.
Okay.
I just let my real estate license go dormant, and then I did a lot of interior design stuff, worked in the medical field, and then I moved back here and resumed real estate in 2013, full time. So
Wow, we're just coming out of that phase.
yeah, and so it was a good timing for me. My kids were just graduating, high school in 2015 and 16, and I was just getting really rolling at that point, because it takes 3 to 5 years to get
Oh, yeah.
well established.
Oh no, people think you just
Yeah.
go get your license and start selling
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it's really difficult.
And they should go away.
Yeah, Yeah.
They should be mentored for a few years.
It takes 3 to 5 years, I think, to be well established.
Craig Kuchenbecker's watching us right now.
He is.
Hey, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Glad you're
Should
on
I
there, buddy.
flex?
Yeah. No, because I'll be jealous.
Yeah, right. No, I can't even lift the weights off when I'm behind you.
Get out of here! You do a great job.
No.
Yeah, you do great. I get to wake up with her in the mornings.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I know.
Is Terry listening too?
Well, she's there before we get there.
As my husband would say,
Yeah.
It's great. She wears burlap.
She wears burlap.
I love the outfit you have on today.
Thank you. Faded roots.
Yeah, absolutely. Our co-worker honor.
I deserve it shopping spree after a closing.
There you go.
There you go.
You had a few closings. You had some lots recently.
Yeah.
I got questions about the lots too.
Okay.
But I want to ask you some questions about what is it about new construction that kind of seems like it really turns you on? Because you focus on it. You sell everything.
Right.
But it really seems like your focus is new construction, whether it is Bronze Leaf or over at Liberty Square,
Right.
where we are. Because I go out my door and there's your son Kim Elton, which I've tried to knock over a few times. But no.
Well, at least he's honest. Now you know, right? Wow.
She's all over up there, and so what is it about new construction?
I think I've always just had a passion for interior stuff, creating
Okay.
a space. When I was in high school, I actually took an architectural drafting class, and somehow my house that I built seemed to be monstrous.
Oh, really?
They were calling it the Laufenberg Mansion, but I love creating spaces and interior stuff. I don't have a degree in it, but I've done it for many years, and I have my own style, I'm guessing. So maybe it's not everybody's style, but I like working with builders. I like working with people picking out things, whether it's a buyer or a seller or a developer, or it's just a passion that
You
I
like
have.
that creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joanna Gaines, she doesn't have a degree in that.
Yeah.
I think she's done pretty well.
She just has a passion.
She's got an eye, and she has this vision on how to set up a room. I would have no idea how to do that. For me, it's the most difficult part of real estate would be building a new home. And in my previous marriage, we talked about building a house. And we were so close to just saying, okay, let's just go do this. And for me, I was so afraid I was going to forget something,
A detail, but they walk you through it.
And your first house you build, you do forget things, and you do miss things, or you get down the road 2 years and go, I wish or I should have, or gosh, why didn't we think of this?
Thank you.
So, there's just, that always happens until you get to about house number 3, maybe.
Oh,
wow.
So,
but the thing you can help eliminate that is by working with someone like yourself that has been through this so many times.
I think looking at blueprints and seeing the flow of a house and seeing how the space works and the things that could be detrimental or the things that could really be hard to navigate around on a floor plan, I can see it on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Whether it's a door swing or the way a closet's situated, or a place when you first come in an entry area, how big the space is and what it provides you, or a kitchen layout,
How people are actually going to use their spaces, live in them.
And I think that's important.
Absolutely, because again, people don't know what to think or how to process or which way should the door swing. And those are the things that you deal with every day.
So you see it even on drafts that are already done, I might look at it and say, oh, okay, these are some things I would look at, or these are some things I would do to make it easier flow for you in the house, or these are some things you're not going to see until you actually have it built. Unless you know these things. And so, and in my own house, I've even, the current house I'm in, it's 5 years old, and there's a few things that I'm like, oh gosh, I wish I wouldn't have done this. I'm not going to tell you what they are because when I sell it, I don't want anybody to know.
Well, don't we all experience that though, really?
Yeah.
Like I did my bathroom, 10 years ago. Okay, wow, it's like an ever-changing thing. I don't like that anymore. Or it's not in style anymore. So it's a work in progress, always.
I like the shag
Okay.
carpeting.
Do you? It's
I like
cushy.
I like that gold kind of color shag carpet. from the
Goes with
70s.
everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to have a rake for that at my.
Oh my
dad's
gosh.
house.
Well, then
You
wouldn't
would
it get
not
stuck
make
in
it
the
as
little...
a designer.
Why? Well, hey, I just lived there. I was a kid. But the rule was, because I'm actually somebody that likes to vacuum. But I did it as a kid. I mean, it was one of my jobs at the house. Take the trash out, run the vacuum once in a while. Had to keep my room clean, stuff like that.
Did you have to have like the nap of the carpet going certain directions?
No, but I did that.
Yeah.
You know I did
And it
that.
all lined up like your lawn, when
You
you
did,
mow your
right, I
lawn.
did.
Yeah, the Christmas
You know
grass.
exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's
Okay.
me. That's exactly right.
My mother looked for that. I want it vacuumed in this way. Okay, whatever. Like I care as a teenager. I
Well,
never cared.
I had to vacuum it, and then it was a yellow rake, and you have to go in and you got to rake the carpeting.
You're being serious about
I'm
that?
being for
I don't
real.
remember rakes for carpets.
You can look it up on your phone.
I
So
Shag
it makes it
carpet.
look,
Making
so
that
it makes it
up.
look like you vacuumed it.
Yeah.
Ah, who needs a I vacuumed, Mom.
Oh,
Look,
she knows.
see?
She knows.
They're like petri dishes. I
Yeah.
mean, think of all the icky stuff that gets.
That's why I don't have carpet.
Not a carpet fan. Nope, not at all.
I did that once, by the way.
What?
I told Mom I vacuumed and I just raked.
No.
And she goes, I
Of
know you
course you
didn't.
did.
She goes, I know you didn't vacuum. And I'm like, Mom, I did. She goes, no, I know you didn't.
How did
she
she
goes,
know?
Why don't you just fess up? She says, I've got you. And I'm like, well, how do you know? She goes, when I finished with the vacuum, it was empty.
The things you don't think about.
Uh-huh.
See?
And there's nothing
Yeah.
in the trash.
Yeah.
There's no,
And
I
it's
took
all
it
right.
outside.
Yeah.
It's in the outside trash.
Uh-huh.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
See, that's the stuff, like we're always, how did my parents know that? It's really not rocket science. They just, our brains don't think in the way, you know? That comes with experience, right? We know things. Because we probably
You
did
do.
it when we were kids.
So,
I know
but
what
I
you're
love to
doing.
vacuum. I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
and I move stuff when I vacuum.
Oh, get out.
Get out.
There's no other way to vacuum.
I know.
Yeah.
And dusting too.
White glove?
I will move stuff to dust.
Well,
I kind of like to do more polishing than I do the dusting.
okay.
I know. All right, we're off the subject.
Well, a little bit. I mean, it's house related, but little, yeah.
But for somebody that is so detail oriented like I am, to build a house just
Ooh, it's a lot.
overwhelms me.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like it's harder for me to go into an existing home, not to remodel. I mean, I could go in and remodel all day,
Sure.
but it's like it's harder. I guess the hardest thing for staging an existing home for me is to never hurt feelings of the homeowner.
Mm.
So you have to be very
Polite.
yeah, you don't want to hurt feelings,
Uh-huh.
but you
Yeah.
have to be direct about things,
Uh-huh.
because of course you want the house to sell for them, and
Mhm.
so I always try to be as how can I say, like, instead of say things I don't like, say things that we can do to make it more saleable.
There you go.
Or
Focus on the positive always.
yeah,
No judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
I think that's a struggle for me. But new construction, just I don't know. I love working with a builder. I love looking at blueprints. I love picking it all out, seeing it all come together, and then seeing the buyer be happy.
Sure.
So it's.
So, as part of your real estate practice, are you trying to meet with builders to strengthen that relationship where they will recommend you or use you to list and market the houses as being built?
No, actually, I kind of have fallen into where I'm at, and I'm grateful.
Sure.
I started doing new condominiums over in Waybridge
Okay.
Village in Sun Prairie off of Camden Lane.
Okay.
That development had stopped. It was half built and stopped in 2006 or 2007.
Okay.
And then I watched and watched and watched it. My parents wanted to live over there, but there was nothing available
Sure.
and nothing new coming.
Uh-huh.
So I kept calling, trying to find out who owned the land to see if we could take over the development to see what we could do. And I couldn't get anywhere. And then one day, up comes a building permit, there's a building going in, and we took the builder's name and number, and my dad called, and I called, and I asked, is this building for sale? Well, half of it's for sale, the other half is sold. I'm like, can we meet with you tomorrow? I'm bringing my checkbook.
Oh, okay.
Because we kept not being able to find condos for them, and then when you were writing offers, you weren't getting anywhere. And so I went and met with the builder and my parents, and ironically, he pulled out the blueprints, and we looked at the floor plan of the one that was available, and I, within 10 minutes, had changed several things
Oh my gosh.
on the blueprint, and he's looking at me, and he's writing it all down, and he's like, who are you? And what do you do? And I said, I'm Kim Elton, I'm a real estate agent. And he says, no, you're not. You're going to come and work for me. I said, no, I'm not. He goes, no, you're going to come work for me. And
wow.
So he goes, I want you to meet the developer for this project, because they're about ready to hire a real estate agent.
Sure.
And I think before he makes that decision, he needs to meet you.
Okay.
And I would love to have you on my team. So I ended up working with him and helping him come up with a new kitchen plan, a new master bathroom area, kind of the way things were laid out in the units. And we did 20 units in 3 years over there.
Wow.
And it was a lot of work. I was on the project. I was hired as a project manager by the developer, so I wore 2 hats. And then I was real estate agent. Now, I didn't list them all. I listed some, and the developer listed some for sale by owner, but I listed, and then I brought my own buyers even, so it was just kind of a strange mix, but I did really well in there, and I loved it. And then I ironically ended up in Bronzeleaf because the developer for Bronzeleaf wanted help selling 4 existing buildings that were built the year before that weren't selling. So then she called me and asked me, said that this other developer had recommended me. And so I went and looked at them with her. We went in, made changes, sold all the units, and then moving forward, she hired me to help her with the new units.
That is so cool.
So,
You said she, a builder?
She's the developer. I have worked with a female developer, Bronzeleaf, owner and developer.
It's not Dawn.
No.
Okay.
And then in Waybridge, it was a male developer.
Okay. I like to hear women who are in
McIntosh.
Yeah.
No, the developer is a very astute, very smart businesswoman.
Love it.
I have learned a ton from her, and I've learned a lot, and hopefully I've brought some things to the table. But I helped her in the beginning to see why these weren't selling, and what we needed to do to move them and make them all right. So it's been a really fun process, and I've gotten to work with her, side by side, picking out things for these units. We've spec'd a few of them out. We've picked out all the interior selections that people could choose for the other units, and I'm hoping to move forward in the future, another phase possibly. But it's been a really great experience, and that's how I ended up there. And then I don't really work hand in hand with the builder over in Liberty Square.
Okay.
I work with the developer.
Right.
Again,
you're selling the lots.
Another female.
Right. So Liberty is mainly the lots.
I sell lots, and I really don't get too involved in the build process with buyers and their builders. No, if I know a buyer that buys a lot with me, I refer them to a lender. I give them recommendations, and then my developer there, if they're actually going to be the builder, then they work hand in hand with them. I don't generally bring them to the table unless there's one in progress, a spec home in progress. I'll bring somebody to the table, help them finish everything out, and work hand in hand with them and the seller or the developer. But a lot of my sales in there, if I sell a lot, they have their own builder, bringing their builder in, or they have their own real estate agent, or they want builder recommendations. I'm just kind of a different kind of agent. I guess I don't believe I don't believe that I need to stand in the way of a builder and a buyer's relationship. If I refer them to a builder, then I know that builder is going to do right by them, and I feel if the buyer wants to bring me to the table, they can, and then I would take that on as a licensed real estate agent. But if if
Sure.
if it means they can't afford to buy the home or
Right.
build a home, I'm not going to stand in their way. I'm not going to be the agent standing there with my hand out. I'm just totally different.
Well, I think it's cool that the creativity in your background and being able to look at blueprints and go, you know, if we could just take this wall down and move this over, that's priceless.
Yeah.
It really is. Congrats.
Thank you.
And it's
You
just
got
come
that-
from passion and experience.
Yeah.
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 Well, look at that.
And building my own home quite a few times.
Oh, experience.
We just renovated a barn too, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Didn't you know that?
You were talking about that, but
Yeah.
in between lifts and grunts and all that stuff. So
we took a barn from the 1900s that was just totally a big open hay mound and just made it into a single family
Love
home. Yeah.
it. Oh my gosh, that's
My
cool.
husband and I had it designed with an architect or a builder, and then I just took it and ran with it. I picked everything out, pulled permits, did everything from that end, and then we kind of did it as we went and picked things out. And it is, I will do some photos, professional photos, when we're all done. We're almost
You're gonna
done.
sell it?
almost done.
Yeah, you're gonna
Our
live in
first
it?
intentions were to sell it, but now I think we want to move in it next year.
Because you love it so
I
much,
know,
right?
it's so cute. It's a happy place.
There you go.
I love that.
Yep.
It's very cute, but it's 1,200 square feet and barely 2 bedrooms.
Well, that's
It's
okay.
okay. Simplify,
2
and it's
bedrooms
cool.
and 2.5 baths. It's great.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Out of a barn.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can do all kinds of things. I've heard of people doing that, even silos, turning
So my
silos
next
into
project
homes.
there is to build to build a garage, a
Mm.
2-car detached garage, but make it look like the house.
Yeah. Can have a space over
Sure.
the
Yeah,
top,
yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
A loft?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
There you go.
So the garage will look like a house, and then with a barn, but it's really going to be the
Barn is the house.
Yeah, the barn is
That's
the house.
interesting.
So-
Oh, wow. Where is it?
It's on County Road C,
Okay.
going out of just north of Highway 19,
Okay.
going out of Sun Prairie.
Awesome. Love it.
On the left-hand side, next to Tony.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
What a cool idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tony's
Up on
been,
that hill.
Yep, Tony's been up there helping me tell us about grass seed and all. We're in the process of landscaping and doing
Okay.
the paver patio right now. My husband's building it out of slate stone.
Oh, beautiful. I
Um,
want to see pictures.
Yeah,
That sounds
I have
amazing.
pictures, and I'm gonna.
She'll have a party.
I'm going to have a party. It's just that I'm telling so many people about it. I don't want to forget who to send invite to, but I can't post it on Facebook. Oh my God, I would be like.
How
broke.
much food are you gonna
handing
have?
Out, handing
Yeah.
out beer and wine and
Sell tickets.
I know.
I just
There you
did that.
go.
It was called a wedding.
Yeah.
Here, have another one. Here, have another one.
Yeah.
You know, the size of our wedding grew immensely when
It
as soon as we got to
happens.
Buckingham.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I should have came.
I know.
I was at another wedding.
Oh, I know. That's right. That's exact. So, what? Question about the lots that you sell. So here's what I noticed, and I have to pick your brain on this a little bit. So you've recently sold 3 lots, and in those lots there was one that's they average about 85,000 in Liberty Square,
Mhm.
about 0.22 acres.
Mhm.
And this is where I live, by the way, folks. I live on Continental Way, which I actually sit on Patriot Way, but my address is Continental Way. I don't know where the city comes up with these addresses, but what a waste. But so one of the properties though you sold, it showed that you can negotiate on a lot because it was like 4,000 off the asking price, and then the second one had a seller concession, and I'm trying to figure out what is the concession on the lot, and I just wanted you to tell me about this.
I guess the concession was just an incentive, just like a buyer's incentive.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So there was a lot of negotiating on that.
Okay.
I guess, and the lot's values at 85,000, at 85 to 99. There's nowhere in Sun Prairie
No.
that you can buy a lot for this
No.
price. And so the fact, I think that particular, the 2 that just sold, they wanted to buy 2.
Okay.
So there, so there was a little bit of a, I guess a buyer incentive, because
Yeah.
they wanted to buy 2.
Because my next question, and you just hit on it, was, I thought the lot prices were too low.
Yeah, but it's been a process. You know, I think the only reason those have not sold more is they're a little narrow, and it's getting a 3-car garage. So a lot of people want a 3-car garage, but then you also don't want your 3-car garage to monopolize the entire front of your
And that happens all the
home.
time.
It does. And this developer is really good. Jack 2 developer. They're really good about making sure that doesn't happen. So plans have to be pre-approved, even builders that are coming in from elsewhere, where the garage has to sit a certain way, and you can't have your percentage can't exceed so much of the front of your home.
Right.
The garage, otherwise it looks like a big 3-car garage and no front
and
porch,
that's it.
right?
You can do it on the side.
Yeah,
Is that
you can
how
do a turned garage on some of the corner lots, and then the other thing is the way they do the setback, and then what you could do is setback part of the garage and make it a 3-car with a little bit of a setback, or you can do a tandem, a 2-car tandem garage on one side.
Well, my house runs long, and so my garage is in the back.
Yeah, but that was a whole.
Because I have an alley.
That's a really cool concept, though. I kind of wish they would have pursued doing that more. Because
oh, really?
Actually, those homes. So you must have one of those that were originally built by Tip Top, or
I don't know who was built by.
I don't know.
So where you have yours on Pine, come up to Patriot, take a right, and it's not that White House. It's the tan one. It's got all the beautiful flowers and everything.
Continental?
So
No,
On Patriot? Sorry.
Oh wait, so who's building all those to begin with?
Was it It wasn't Cross.
No, I think it was Jack too, and
could have been.
And all the ones on Terra Drive like that, they're adorable. They're like tiny houses with big front porches, and then they have a little porch in the back, so if your son is on the different side of the house, and then you drive around and your garage is in the back. I think it's a really great idea.
I owned one of those too.
Yeah, so
Yours is on the side, right?
I had a house on Terra and Continental, or Terra and Independence, right across from the park. And then I moved up to Liberty in the condos with the 55 plus. And then
you're 55.
Barely.
Really?
Barely.
I never have guessed.
Oh my gosh. I should hit 55 on my next birthday.
The gray hair didn't give it away?
My next birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. Get out of here, both of you. I dye my hair gray just to look older, okay?
Because it's distinguished on a man. You do that on purpose.
I do it to get AARP discounts.
Oh, oh gosh.
Why not?
So when we found the house where it is now, I mean, we love the layout and everything. Actually, there's some changes that we would make to that house, because when you come into the garage, immediately you go down the stairs to the basement. There's no if, ands, or if you go left, you're going down to the basement. And I would have made the stairs wider, and I might have moved them up a little bit or relocated those.
See, you're doing what a designer does.
I know.
Yeah.
Would've, should've, could've.
Oh, sure. And then so we've been in there.
My next house.
2 years, I think it is. We'll go smaller on the next one. Actually, we would have.
Bought my barn.
No, we would have bought one of the bronze leaf condos, but we have Zoe, and to take Zoe out, let her out to go to the bathroom, we couldn't do it in a convenient way, and Terry said absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because we really enjoyed those.
Yeah, they're really. I actually just sold the last one in this phase.
Oh, you did?
Just closed on it Monday.
Oh,
cool.
Good. Nice job. Good golf time.
Thank you.
But what was I going to tell you about this? So when we bought the house, and it was newer. I can't remember. I think it's 10 years old, maybe not even 10 years old. Bill Quigley's watching right now. Hey, Bill Quigley. If anybody knows Bill Quigley. So what you all of a sudden discovered and you notice after you've been in a house so long is that they built the house, but there's shortcuts.
Oh yeah.
I'll give an example. So we may have like not a bronze. See, I'm terrible on colors, ladies. Not a bronze color, not a yellow color, but kind of like that yellowish, darker yellow stuff. And
for what, fixtures?
Yeah. No, for painting and all that.
Oh.
But then they used
Harvest
chrome fixtures. All of a sudden, it's cheap chrome fixtures. I'm looking at these things. Why aren't they brown? I mean, because we have the way it's laid out. It'd be absolutely gorgeous. And they were in love with light blue. We have light blue everywhere. That light blue needs to go away.
But those are easy things to change,
Yeah.
right?
I know,
Hardware and
I
paint.
know all the right people.
Easy.
Or in the master, to me it's still the master bathroom, they didn't tile the walk-in shower. It's an insert, which just drives me
that
crazy.
does, yeah. Drive you crazy.
And you're
Well, if you look at it from a builder standpoint, that's about a $7,000 upgrade.
sure.
Is it really?
Okay.
Having all tile versus, wow,
So what is
well,
the
there you
upgrade?
go.
But now here's what's the upgrade going to be for me to tile it today.
It's probably going to cost about the same to do today.
So they should have done the work then.
Yeah.
Because whether we paid $419 for it. Thank you for building your houses over there. Our values are just going through the roof. Thank you very much. In 2 years, I can't. It's just I'm blown away by the increase in our value. But the thing I was going to tell you is that in that price range, another $7,000 would not make a difference.
Right. Or
Mhm.
$5,000 for that matter on
Sure.
certain things.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
It's like basements.
Yeah.
Finish the basement.
Yeah.
People finish the basement because they don't.
Yeah.
And then they go to sell it and they're like, well, I don't know why I'm not getting more than Johnny down the street.
Because he has a finished
Yeah.
Because
basement.
you got a finished basement.
Yeah. The cost to finish a lower level is so much less than finishing main level.
Right?
Or
Mhm.
if you are building a ranch,
Uh-huh.
build it a little smaller ranch and finish the lower level, because your thumbprint is what's going to cost you the money. It's the concrete in the
Mhm.
exterior.
Yeah.
It's your footings. It's all the concrete. It's the roof.
Sure.
It's the space that a
Yeah.
ranch takes. So build up or build down.
And it's
And
probably
those
less
city fees
expensive
that are so expensive.
to develop.
What?
To develop and build and all that.
Yeah.
Is it less expensive probably to have it done when you build too versus I'll do it later when I have more
because
money?
if you think about all the materials that need to come in and out of a property to build, and drywall is not an easy thing. Drywall would either have to be cut to go into a lower level, or it would have to come in through a window, and it's very heavy. So,
Mhm.
and I've experienced this before. A drywall truck pulls up, they put their equipment down. Drywall is so heavy, they'll even crack a driveway.
Mhm.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
the
gosh.
equipment
Wow.
to pull it out of the truck. If you ever watch, they actually load the drywall in. It's kind of like, it's
Holy
heavy.
cow, I guess I didn't
So
realize
now,
that.
now if you're going to finish a lower level, they actually have to probably cut it smaller
And
or,
then
or
bring it
in
up.
longer, thinner pieces.
Sure.
Mm.
And then bring it in through and down the stairs or in through a back window or
Right.
however they can get it in. So it's
Wow.
More mudding,
yeah.
taping, all
Yeah,
that stuff,
yeah.
and if you're not good at
And more
it.
cost and a higher cost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to do a remodel is more per square foot than just to
Right.
do it while we're there.
Exactly, that's it.
And what you just heard is priceless. If anything out of this entire show, what she just said to you, folks out there listening, that is priceless.
Finish the lower level.
Finish the lower level
Yeah.
because it's going to save you money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Well,
you're
finish
get-
the lower level while you're building.
While you're building,
Yeah,
right.
if it hasn't been done when you buy a home, then you just have to set your budget. You have to
That's-
get a quote and stick to your budget, or it can get out of hand.
So we have about 8 minutes left, and I want to touch on a couple of things. One is I brought the ladies here have the sheets that they're about an existing homes, as folks you know we talk about every week, is existing and new construction. And the reason I do that is to give you a reminder is a lot of times it's kind of deceiving when they say a number of total listings for an area. Right now, if you were to go onto the internet, go to Realtor.com or wherever, Zillow, it'll tell you that there are 56 homes on the market. There are not 56 homes on the market. There are actually only 36, and then of that 36, 19 of those are new construction, and I want to say like 7 of them are available to move into. The rest are ghost listings. And what I mean by ghost listing is they want to sell a new constructed property, and they're giving you pictures, and it can be built by October, September, or whatever. Those are called ghost listings. And so, but what I want you to do is to have a comparison, a correct comparison, more about what I call that hyper-focus comparison, where you can see the existing price homes and then new construction price homes. And what I've been telling people, and we've been trying to teach, is I want them to focus more on price per square foot, because it gives you a very clean differentiation of each of the properties. And so I want to point this out. So here's why the purpose of this. Now, Kim has a listing on here that we've talked about before, and we won't pick on her about Pine Street at all, but that's okay. Today. See it? See the love?
We're finishing the lower level.
You are?
We're working on.
Oh, this is the one, yeah,
Okay,
we
good.
talked about.
Good,
Okay.
good. But no, I mean, the price per square foot, we're looking at everything and looking at new construction, because my concern is what's happening is you've got existing that's lower than a new construction, but existing is climbing up and touching new construction. And there are properties that are existing properties where someone could have a brand new home that they've been a part of the design process.
Right.
And I don't think most agents know that.
Right.
I don't think that they study or take the time to really look at the aspects of it, and it's kind of interesting. Now, with that said, the active listings of new construction, of all those 19 that are on there, if I took the overall average of all of the listings there, and there's some in the 300s per square foot, 329, 327, but the average is $251 a square foot. If I look on the existing listing page of homes that are readily available, like on Laura Street or on Fair Pheasant Way, they're $254 and $249 a square foot. So it makes you want to say, ask yourself first, why am I paying new construction prices for an older existing home?
Do you think some of that has to do with what the home may have in it? Do you think maybe the current owners have updated things nicely or recently added new things, whether it's a new roof, nice finished lower level, upgraded their fixtures, upgraded their cabinets?
Could be.
Everyone is different. So you
could be.
On the existing homes, you don't know until you dive in and start looking at what's included, what's new. But then you're right. A lot of these new homeowners, some of them are first-time home buyers, are paying up to $400,000 for their first home and not batting an eyelash at having to replace everything that was the original existing items in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're happy. And I don't know if that's because lots are bigger, or they're in a specific location, or I don't know, but new construction seems to be sitting longer, and
really,
I think new construction is sitting longer.
I just saw a gentleman yesterday that was at my house that works for Encore, and they work more in Middleton and Fitchburg and all that stuff. And I said, so how's the market? You guys must be working, going headstrong, balls to the wall, boom, boom, boom. He says, actually, we've decided to slow down.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, can you tell me why? Because it seems like we don't have enough houses.
Right.
We know there are not enough houses out there. Why are you slowing down? We're concerned about the commercial market. I'm like, okay. Now, he was picking up a desk from me that he bought from Facebook Marketplace. But we chatted for a while, and they're just concerned about what it's going to do to the economy. And in addition with the UPS strike, and we went into all these different areas, but they're feeling that fear of the unknown, I guess. And
so they're worried about their loan rates, commercial loan rates.
Yes, yeah.
Valid concern.
I think so too. I mean, it's.
But don't they do mostly commercial properties?
No, they're doing residential.
Residential.
Uh-huh.
They do residential, but I thought they were more geared toward bigger properties, like apartment buildings or condo complexes. And
could be a different Encore, but these
I
guys,
wonder.
we were talking about residential that they do, and it's something. But when I look
Laura
at
Street is cute. It looks small, but it's nicely updated.
Well, we talked about this last week. I showed a house in Medina, and it was from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And they made some DIY improvements, and you could tell it was DIY because it wasn't nicely done. Wasn't done by a professional. Musty basement and everything.
Ugh.
$279 a square foot. And they said, and then the buyers went, but it has 5 acres. I said, the acres aren't included in that number. This is the square footage of the home. I said, we could go find you 5 acres, maybe pay $10,000 an acre rural, maybe $15,000 an acre, $20,000 an acre, and still get you a better home for less money.
Yeah, but you're not going to find a 1 acre lot for 20,000.
No, not city.
No.
But rural.
I'm not so sure about that.
Look at your Medina numbers when you get a chance. So just Medina and Marshall, especially in that area, that's where we pulled up the stats. One of them was 13,000, and another one was 20,000 an acre.
Who wants to live in Medina?
Well, anywhere they can afford 5 acres.
I suppose.
Well, people have to open their options these days, right?
And that's what's happening.
Right.
It really
People
is.
are moving on the outskirts.
Sure. I don't know why anybody would want to live anywhere else but Sun Prairie, but.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I didn't know Woodland Drive is back on the market at a much lower price. No, it isn't.
No,
He's still looking for 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Get out.
That's not even a unicorn. That's an albatross.
Oh man,
1.1 million.
that's
Where you
nutty.
sitting?
That's so nutty.
So Woodland is over by going towards
North side
Buck and
and
Honey's and
right off of Summit and Bird
over
Street.
by her neighborhood.
Yeah, my neighborhood is not at
like
1.2
a
million.
huge house in a small neighborhood.
It used to be the Cheeseman owner's house years ago. Yeah, it's huge.
And then they
And
added
he's-
on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he took that lot, which is actually kind of cool, and he built 2 other houses on that lot. Those have been sold for a long time.
Right.
And then he made a lot of improvements to this one, because it was definitely 1970s. The intercom system, the wood paneling, all of it.
Yeah, it looks nice, but I feel like you're the highest priced
Oh, for sure.
home in a
By far.
yeah.
By far, yeah.
So like that would be a poor investment.
Yeah, 300,000.
You want to be the
400 at the most. In that area.
You want to be a nice house in one of the lower prices in the nicest neighborhood.
Yeah.
Write that down.
That's how you move forward.
Right.
That's how you move up the ladder.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
That's it.
It's got a pool and
Yeah.
a hot tub, and it's huge. But yeah, who's gonna do that?
It's just a difficult place to put yourself unless you don't care.
Sure.
And you spend that kind of money and you just
Yeah.
go there and enjoy it.
You
and
just
don't
won
care
the
what you ever-
Powerball, and you love it,
Yeah,
and you're gonna
and
pay
you don't
cash.
really care if you ever sell it or what you sell it for,
Right.
because it isn't gonna matter.
Yes.
You know.
But where's that buyer?
I don't know. That's right. So my whole point of this is that when you're buying either existing or new construction, you need to be working with a realtor that knows the difference in the markets. You need to know, they need to be aware of what the market's doing. And if you look at this, I mean, if I have somebody looking at Laura, I'll come over and I'll say, hey, we can find you a house. For a brand new house for that, and not one that's probably from 1961 either. 1961 house.
But Laura is listed for 305.
Right.
You're not going to find a house for 305. You're not going to build a new house for 305.
And that's nicely updated.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is it won't sell at 305, which is another thing that ticks me off.
Yeah, it'll sell higher. I just sold my mom a condo in an 8-unit building, and we offered higher than list price, no contingencies, and we had to come to that price to get it, and that was way above the asking price.
Wow.
Yeah.
And trust me, it needed a lot. It needed flooring and paint and appliances and light fixtures and
Oh, sure.
and it doesn't have a garage. You park down below.
Well, I like the parking down below.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
But
I
so
call
what
it the
I'm
Bat
saying
Cave.
is that's 305,000, and this house
Sure.
may probably have a garage, and if it's got some nice updates,
Probably a small car.
you can't build a home for $350,000
No.
on your lot.
No.
You can't do it.
No,
Mm-mm.
you can't do it.
Mm-mm. Not
But-
today.
No.
Maybe a few years back, or
Oh, sure.
maybe in a few years from now.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Who
do you want to
knows?
buy? So they're going to pay probably $350 on this house, which they should have priced it at $350 to begin with.
Yeah, that's one of the things I can't understand is when somebody writes an offer on a home that is over asking price and very few contingencies or no contingencies, and the buyer sits tight and waits for other offers.
I know.
When you've clearly offered over what they're even asking
Exactly.
for. Yeah.
Well, it's also the realtor that's involved. I mean, you could push that date.
And I think what people don't understand is if you hand them an offer for that and they say we're just going to sit on it a few days, that this buyer can pull that offer back and go right on your neighbor's house tomorrow if another one comes on the market. So what they don't understand is that could go away as fast as it was before you.
Sure.
And you may end up with less than what they offered you.
Right.
So
don't be greedy.
Well,
take a good offer when you see it.
We got a few minutes here. Not that many. I think we talked about this at the PAC the other day, and Laura's heard this. But the home in Lake Mills that we just bought, listed at $425. We came in $425. Cash offer, close in 7 days. Stay there till August for free. Talking to the agent says, "Well, will they consider a counter?" I said, "But you just told me on the phone that they don't have another offer. We're giving you what you want and a whole lot more." And she goes, "Oh, well, no, they were really hoping for $450.
Well, then why didn't they list it for that?
Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right. Now, doing my comps and everything, and I started with RPR, and RPR is a service that we have as realtors. It even came out at $460 on RPR. I ran the comps, and I was at $462 for a value for this property. So I told the buyer what was going on, and she was a little upset about it. Why wouldn't they sell it at $450? They come back with a multiple counter offer, which I still don't believe they had another offer. I don't believe it. But they came back at $450 on the multiple counter. We countered at $440, and we got the house. That's valued at $460. If this, man, I'm gonna shoot myself. Realtor had priced it correctly at $450, they probably would have gotten $460, $470, because the mindset right now is everything's selling over asking.
Right.
And so at that price point, they're going to jump at 10%, 10,000 over, 20,000 over,
Right.
And that's what's
happening.
happening.
What was the list price on it?
$425.
Oh, it's for heaven's sake.
$425. And she goes, I want out of this deal. And I said, well, okay, we don't have to do anything with this counter offer. I said, but it's a good deal at $440. I said, you're going to have $20,000 in equity when you walk in that you haven't applied. But it just irritates me that they're raising the price on this. I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but if you really want the house, this is where we need to be. And what you also need to know is that you need to be comfortable knowing that you're getting a good deal.
Yep.
And it was just a pain. But that's the game that's being played. This Laura listing is going to have that happen.
Yeah, I think too that in what's all happened in our world over the last few years, and the way the market has gone, and the way sellers are selling, that even today when a seller lists their home, they're just having that expectation, and I feel like it's an entitlement per se.
Yeah.
But it really shouldn't be. I mean, I think it's all gotten out of control.
It has. I agree with you.
Yep.
Can you hear the music?
Mm-hmm.
That means we're done. Folks, I hope you had I hope you picked up some good things today in the show. New construction is a viable opportunity, and you should think about it. But work with somebody that knows the business. It's not that they can just list a home or things like that. They have an insight. They have that vision. And you heard that today. Kim Elton, right here in Sun Prairie. She has that vision that can help you. You can also come to me, and then we'll go talk to Kim. That's okay. We can do that. How do people get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me on,
What's your website?
It's kimeltonrealtor.com.
I love that. And what's your phone number?
608-512-7836.
There you go. And folks, we appreciate all your insights and your suggestions that you've been giving us. Great advice. I do have an article we'll talk about next week about Madison and how Madison's one of the leading areas in the country, price-wise, from April to May. We'll touch on that then. But until then, we will catch you back here on the radio. Bye, Sun Prairie.
Thank you.
Sun Prairie.
Thanks, Kim, for everything. And we are out of here. We're still on Facebook, so hold on to your thoughts or comments.
Just keep